Welcome to the leading podcast for long-term weight management. Subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss an episode. You can connect with Jenny on all social media channels. You can also sign up to the newsletter to receive frequent content and tips for weight loss success.
Hey guys, welcome to the Power Over Food podcast. I am your host, Jenny McDonald, the Food Freedom Fairy, and I am here to help you find the magic of weight loss without the dieting. And I just want to say hi and welcome and thank you for listening. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a great day, great week. And if you are a listener, and well, obviously you are a listener because you're listening to me talk now, but please reach out. I love hearing from my listeners, and I love, even if it's just the first time you've heard the podcast, just say hi. Let me know what you're getting from listening to these podcasts. Anyway, before I dive into what we're talking about today, I just want to mention my free masterclass. That is on Wednesday, the 10th of May at 7 o'clock UK time, 7 p.m. in the evening. And I will be talking about how to manifest weight loss. And I know manifest can seem a bit of a mumbo jumbo word, but I promise you, if you come along to this masterclass, you are going to have a completely different perception on energy alignment work, on manifesting, and on releasing limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck. You will go away mind blown. So if you want to subscribe up for that, go to the show notes, follow me on social. I'm posting it everywhere at the moment, so just subscribe and you'll receive your Zoom link, and you will also receive a replay of the class if you can't make it, or if you just want to watch it again. Anyway, so today we are talking about consistency and why we struggle to be consistent. So first of all, why do we struggle to be consistent? Well, I believe there's three main reasons. Now, the first reason is because we place really high expectations on how much weight we can lose. We set ourselves up for failure because we say, right, I want to lose 3 stone for the summer. And knowing the summer or your holiday, whatever it is not that far away. But you think, right, if I'm really, really good, and if I do this, and if I only have cup of soup for lunch, or if I only follow such and such diet, I can do it. We put this real pressure on ourselves and we set ourselves up to fail. And usually those expectations are not realistic. You're not on a program that can deliver those results. You may already know that 1 pound of fat is the equivalent to 3,500 calories, roughly. So that means if you lose 1 pound a week, you have been in a deficit of calories, 500 calories every day for 7 days, which equates to 3,500 calories. Losing 1 pound a week actually is pretty amazing. And if you lost £2 the week before and you only lose half a pound, that's still £2.5 over 2 weeks. So again, it's pretty amazing. Do you set yourself up for like £2 to £3 a week and then you're always disappointed when you don't see those results? Now, the second reason I think we struggle to be consistent is we're too strict. We're too strict with what we're trying to do. So we go on this crazy mission where we think, right, I'm that sick of where I am. I can definitely do this time. And we think we're going to exercise 4 or 5 times a week. We are going to completely change our lifestyle overnight. And whilst occasionally people do this, the majority of us, that is not real life. We need to make gradual change and let that change embed in our lives before we do something else. But again, when we've decided we're sick of trying to lose weight and we're going all out for it, we try to put so many different changes in place to get the quickest results possible that often we crash and burn after a week or two because those changes are too extreme. They don't fit into our current lifestyle. We're asking too much of ourselves. We're not used to meal prepping. We haven't got the time to do it, or we haven't made the time in our lives to do it. And it just all goes pear-shaped. And the other reason I think we fail is we let things throw us off track really easily. So we think, right, I've got a clear 4 weeks, I can be really, really good. And if you've listened to me before, I hate using those terms, good and bad, but I know that you will likely relate to them. But we think, I'm going to be really, really good for 4 weeks. And then we're 2 weeks in and we get an invite to a dinner, a night out, and we think, oh, but if I go, I'm going to ruin my diet. So instead of managing that situation and thinking, right, I'm going to go and how can I eat to nourish my body and enjoy myself at the same time and not go too far away from where I want to be with my plan, with my healthy lifestyle, we just allow it to just completely sabotage us. And even when that happens, it's about getting up the next day and thinking, okay, well, that's done, it doesn't matter, and continuing with our new regime. But what we often do is we feel so bad, we feel shame and guilt around eating that we allow that to throw us off track. So the consistency doesn't stop for a day, it stops for a week or for a month before we reignite that passion and that fire to, right, okay, I'm doing it again. And it's almost like people say, I've lost my willpower and I need to get my motivation back. But you can't bottle that up and give it someone. It's about being disciplined in ourselves and about being able to manage those situations. So they're the 3 reasons I think we fail to be consistent: placing high expectations on ourselves, being too strict with ourselves, and being thrown off track too easily. Now, I'm sure you want to know my thoughts on how to be consistent. So first of all, stop taking a scattered approach. Stop thinking, right, I need to lose weight, and then just being scattered with your actions. You need to set yourself a really clear, a really achievable, and a realistic goal. So, for example, this is my goal at the moment. I decided that in the last year, I've been a bit off track. I'm not going to lie. I was going to do a podcast saying I messed up. I might still do that next week. I don't know. But basically, I've been a bit all over the place with my eating. Lots going on in my life, different reasons. There's been big changes in the last couple of years. And I've taken my eye off the ball. I've not been consistent with my training, my exercise. So a few weeks ago, what I decided to do was I decided to set myself a 12-week goal. So a 12-week goal, and this goal really was just about being consistent. I decided I needed to, or I wanted to, drink 2 litres of water every day. I wanted to get to the end of the day and feel that I've made really nourishing choices for my body. I wanted to do my daily meditation and alignment process every day because I know how amazing I feel when I do it. And I'll be sharing more of that in my masterclass. I wanted to, I'm trying to think what else I set myself. I wanted to walk. My aim was to walk, or is to walk, at least 8,000 steps a day. I know I do some around the house, but to reach 8,000, it meant I need to go for a really good walk every day or a couple of small walks every day. So I set myself all these little things that I wanted to achieve on a daily basis. And I set some around business as well. So it was also to record a podcast every single week for my listeners. That was one of my goals for the next 12 weeks because I'd got out of the habit with writing my book of recording the podcast. The next thing, I've got this clear goal. I also hope that I can lose a few pounds in that time because I just feel I need to align. But again, with care and love for myself, for my body, with compassion towards myself, as opposed to I need to lose those pounds, that place of, oh, I hate myself, don't look good. It was just a compassionate goal. I've got a clear plan. So that's number 2. You've got your goal and then you need a clear plan. So I've set myself out a plan. I record my podcast by a Friday, Saturday, so that I can have them edited over the weekend and released by the Monday. That's my new thing at the moment. And I have a walking buddy, so we go out for walking. Training was one of my other goals, so I'm working with Amanda Sobey, who some of you in the lipedema community will know. So training in a group with her several times a week, 3-4 times a week. The other thing I did was I created myself a bit of a tracker. Now, this is literally just on an Excel spreadsheet, and you can get journals these days with habit trackers in. but on an Excel spreadsheet. And just down one side, I wrote down all of the things that I want to do and what the goal was for the week. So some of them are daily goals, like drinking the water, hitting the steps. Then others are weekly goals, like recording the podcast. And then my training goal, minimum of 3 times a week to train. And then what I did is just made a little tiny chart of this. And each day I tick off what I've done. Now for me, having this visual tool really works. You can print it out, you can just use it on the computer. I know people that use fancy programs like Trello, like Notion, but for me, just a simple spreadsheet really, really works. And I do like printing it out and keeping it on my desk because it's just there in my face reminding me, have you been out for your walk today? Have you drank enough water today? What are your plans with food for the day? And it's also making me think ahead about, right, what's in the house to eat? Do we need to go shopping? What am I ordering for next week from Gusto? And so on. That is my process to get myself just into a good routine. And what I notice is, because I'm 3 weeks in, the first 2 weeks I printed off and I was really clear. Now the third week, and we're on Saturday today, I did print it off, but it's been sitting downstairs and I work upstairs and I've not ticked anything off. So I've not really tracked week 3. And I do notice a difference. I've been probably a little bit lazier with my food choices, if you like, a little bit less consistent with my walking this week. Probably haven't hit 8,000 steps 2 or 3 days this week. So I'm very aware that tracker for me really, really works. Now, the other thing that really helps is having someone to keep you accountable. And this is why we have coaches. This is why we have trainers, whatever it is that works for you. And at the moment, I'm working with my personal trainer, Amanda, but I'm not working with a coach for anything to do with food or lifestyle. Unfortunately for me, I've been doing this a long time, so I know how to pull myself back round and get myself back into good habits with food and with movement and so on. But if you are really struggling with that, I recommend that you consider, where can you get support in your life? Who can be your accountability buddy? Or do you need to work with a coach? Do you need some support in some area of your life? And I just want to say, there is no shame in needing that support or accountability. I think particularly as women, we feel like we have to be strong. We feel like we've got to keep it all together, and we feel like we should be able to do this. I have lost count with the amount of women that have said to me over the years, Jenny, I have a really good job. I manage a family. I've been through all these different things in my life, yet this is the one thing I can't crack, and I should be able to do it. We've been taught by society that it's a lack of self-control, that it's laziness, it's just, you're just not good enough, you can't do it. And actually, if you've not been taught how to do this, if this isn't part of your identity because of whatever habits you've developed, whatever reasons you have started using food other than physical hunger, and whatever habits you've got into for quickness because life is busy, because that's the way you were taught to eat, because your family didn't exercise, or whatever else it is, you've not been taught to do these things. Or for the past however many years, you've taught yourself other ways of using food and coping with life. So stop beating yourself up thinking that you should be able to do this, and start thinking, how can I do this? And also start thinking, how can it be easy? You might have heard me lately saying, live in the energy of, how can this be easy? We constantly, when we have a problem, think about, why is it so hard? Why can't I do this? Why does everything go wrong? Why does it get in my way? Instead of thinking, how can I make this work? How can it be easy for me? And when you live in that energy, you'll get thoughts. Just write that question down. Do it now. How can it be easy to stay consistent? And then just write the answers down to that question as it comes to you. Just think about it. How can it be easy to stay consistent? See what comes to you. And I know I've given you lots of tips there, but different things work for different people. So you might need something different to what I've suggested. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know if it's helpful. Let me know how you're going to stay consistent moving forward. Oh, the one thing I did forget is after my 12 weeks, I'm going to monitor my progress. So I have done some measurements and I'm just going to think, oh, the other thing I was doing was fascia blasting as well. Been looking into that and I'm trying it to see if it works for me. If you want to know more about that, drop me a message. So I've been fascia blasting, but yeah, I'm tracking my progress. So I'm going to measure myself at the end of 12 weeks. I'm going to review how many times I've been consistent and how that looks, so I can be realistic on what I should expect my results to be. And then I'm going to set myself another 12-week challenge. And that may look exactly the same, it may be different, but again, I'll track my progress and maybe I'll up my steps or maybe I'll tweak my food. So that is all I have for you today. I hope it's been helpful, as I say. I hope you're going to sign up to the masterclass on the 10th of May and enjoy, if you're in the UK particularly, the next few bank holidays, because we've got 3 in the month of May. Crazy times. And yeah, have a great week, guys. Take care.